Given all the appropriate tests. Tests you will one day prescribe.
Prescribed to stressed-out housewives with sleep
You
disorders.
were prescribed glucocorticosteroids for your latest relapse.
Which, as prescribed by law, I will read to you now.
It's a medical data analyzer that can diagnose as well as prescribe.
Yes. I've prescribed a series of shots.
In the beginning, order was prescribed by your ticket.
Only those prescribed by my doctor, sir.
Hospital food. Be given all the appropriate tests. Tests you will one day prescribe.
Unbelievable. That's dots, not feathers, as a sedative, and was prescribed to stressed-out housewives with sleep disorders. But pretty soon, someone figured out.
As well as your cycle of amitriptyline, you were prescribed glucocorticosteroids for your latest relapse. You kind of got through all of those already, I wouldn't have thought.
Life contains an amendment to the original certificate, which, as prescribed by law, I will read to you now. The authenticity of this document has not yet been confirmed.
Medcom's got one of the best minds here. It's a medical data analyzer that can diagnose as well as prescribe. It's hooked up to the main computer on level 1.
Anything at all.
Are you sure, Doctor?
Yes. I've prescribed a series of shots with vitamins and minerals.
Clubs. You have finals clubs, OCD, and you need to see someone about it. We'll prescribe you some sort of medication. You don't care if the side effects may include blindness.
Final. Yes, so it is. In the beginning, order was prescribed by your ticket. First class, economy, and frail orders like...
Patients, sir.
Ever done any drugs?
Only those prescribed by my doctor, sir.
Well, that's kind of rare for a young, hip soul brother like...
Yeah, you have an asshole of a doctor. He prescribes Tic Tacs for psychosis.
Complaining of a strange and wondrous illness. And do you know what that heartless butcher prescribed? He said, here, take this. It's a sore...
Risperdal. Jesus, how ridiculous. Her husband's infected with an alien virus and I prescribe an antipsychotic.
Yeah, well, I thought that sounded great. She fears they will destroy her. What treatment would you prescribe?
121.
KFO 121? We started prescribing orthosis 3 years ago. We've used it on hundreds of our patients.
Well, then we're...
Yeah, no trouble at all.
Well, that's fine. I'll be right up and prescribe some preliminary treatment. Don't you ever stay in your office, Miss Kelly. I needed you.
I had to give...
I am merely requesting that when it comes to my students, you conform to the prescribed disciplinary practices.
So silly of me, but it sounds as if your question...
Now, were you responsible for the senna, Baker? What?
I prescribed it for your majesty, yes, sir.
Then you are a fool, Baker. What?
It's only a mild perk.
Mrs. Hackett, have you actually given him the pills that I prescribed? Why don't you just try that?
Hepatitis C. So, I'm going to prescribe you a course of interferon, and I'll give you the number of a support group.
Able to keep Sidney from harming his old self. He prescribed a long rest in a sanatory in the booby hatch.
You sound as if somebody rubbed you the wrong way.
That's an excellent diagnosis. Would you like to prescribe a cure?
You're the doctor. You name it. Now or later. Tell me this Whirlpool gadget that Dr. Krugman prescribed.
The jacuzzi?
Yeah. Does it help you any?
This was a fertility medication. Doctors prescribed it to women. Later, they found out that the daughters...
Treva Mark, I promise. But I had best prescribe a bit of antiseptic.
I would advise that you comply with our language laws, which specifically prescribe that all signs be in both English...
Waiting for you, Albert.
It's gonna work out very soon now. Her doctor prescribed these mood elevators, and she's starting ballet classes. You say as innocent?
Yes. Oh, I know the articles prescribe death for what Butter's done.
Stow the articles. They don't account for such a case.
Oh, 2 pregnancies are ever alike.
Dr. Hill prescribed vitamin pills.
No pills. Minnie Castevet has a herbarium.
Still needs to get used to. And my colleague prescribed This for your pain, for your wrist, until they can get you set up for surgery.
By 9 to 12 months of physical therapy. Prescribed medication for pain management will take the usual forms of morphine drip, Percocet.
Someone went to court to challenge his or her prescribed gender role 100 years ago.
And allowed you to give her those filthy injections.
I prescribed a course of armadillo's urine. Yeah, I had used it previously.
By Peter van Foreest in the 16th century, who prescribed it most especially for widows and women of religious orders. No offense, Miss.
Most civilized thing about you is your taste for good cigars. I'm going to prescribe for you, Emiliano. You need that wife. Have you ever spoken to...
Is suffering from an extreme shortness of breath. What do you prescribe?
Let's try some syrup of sage flower, citronella pills to relieve the coughing. Doctor, quart of angelical. Doctor,
I shall be with you. But you have relieved my fears. Mr. Wilson, you couldn't have prescribed a better sedative than yourself.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Not at all. Good night, Mr.
Well, you know, Freud believed in miracles, prescribing cocaine like it was candy. And we all believed in the miracle of cortisone till our patients went psychotic.
I cannot see she's not getting
It is nothing but chloride of mercury. I have prescribed it often in
No,
babies.
Henry, not to any of mine you haven't.
If she would submit to being bled, Charles.
Please. Moving to Warsaw will have to reside. Look here. Jews living outside of the prescribed area will have to move to the Jewish district by 31st of October.
Is it advisable for your own safety that you be committed to an institution as prescribed by law?
Dr. McKeever prescribed medication for Gillian this morning, but we're all out of it.
Once in a while, Hector prescribed pills with funny-sounding names.
Roger, have you taken your meds?
Had it been available back then, I would have prescribed it for Emily after she miscarried.
Miscarried?
After he went to jail.
Oh, then let's get that prescription pad out.
Well, usually I don't prescribe medicine unless I've had a little chat with the patient first. If you're inclined against that, then the session will be...
I sentence you to 6 years at hard labor, as prescribed by the laws of our sovereign state.
6 years? What's he talking about? And impose the penalties prescribed by the Code of Military Justice.
At the time?
Eldest first, of course. As prescribed by Scripture. The youngest born triplets.
Every cell it comes in contact with. I'm going to prescribe a regimen of vitamins, as well as the mineral zinc, to build up your immune system.
Love well, our Father.
Prescribe not us our duty.
Let your study be to content your Lord who hath received
Clients, and occasionally the police. The purveyor of rare herbs and prescribed chemicals is back. Will we never be set free?
Suffering from bronchitis.
Oh, there.
For which we prescribe the 3 Bs, bed, balsam, and broth.
Oh.
To be